UFC Sacramento. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, and I am here today to give you a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card for UFC Sacramento. You see it. That is my favorite basketball team. Go Kings. I got a Malik Monk jersey. I'll pull that out sometime later this week. And if you guys like basketball, our new rookie, A-Cup Jr., y'all watch out. All right, this dude's about to win Rookie of the Year. I'm telling you right now, okay? Rookie of the Year, Darius A-Cup Jr. This guy is the next AI, all right? He's the next AI. He's a beast. Super excited for this season. Actually got a lot of young cats, a couple vets. I think that will actually do pretty solid this year. If not this year, then next year. You know, might go through some little growing pains with some young cats. But next year, watch out. Anyway, off the Kings tangent, we do have to recap last week. UFC 330. Pulling the results up here right now. Picks-wise, it was not a good week, guys. We went 5-6 on the picks. That's bad. And look, I was just off last week, okay? And a lot of people were off too. Lots of huge underdogs coming through that nobody really expected at all. Like Mansur Abdul Malik losing to Dustin Stoltzfus. What was another one on here? Neil Magny coming through, beating Ramiz Brahimaj, Chitty and Joe Kuani beating Joel Alvarez. That one pissed me off the most, I think. Because I've never seen Joel Alvarez fight that bad, that stupidly, and that like clunky and all. Like, ugh. Yeah. Did not like that performance from Joel Alvarez. I'll be even more mad about it in the Bets video. Okay, so look out for that on Thursday there. Entertainment-wise, it was like okay. Like, this is a pay-per-view. This is a numbered event. Like, it should have been more fun, more exciting. So, like, the main event and co-main event were boring. If I'm being completely honest, they were boring. Other than a couple moments, they were not fun. So, I'm hoping we get some more entertaining fights this week at UFC Sacramento, Sacktown, going down in Golden One Center. I'm actually pumped for this card, man. There's actually tons of good fights on this card. We're going to break down every single one. Let's not waste any more time. Main event. Fluffy Anthony Hernandez taking on RoboCop Gregory Rodrigues. Odds on the fight here, we got -180 for Hernandez, +150 for Rodrigues. My pick for the fight. I'm picking Fluffy, guys. I'm picking Fluffy. I'm picking Anthony Hernandez. I think he's going to take RoboCop to deep waters, KO him in the later rounds, like he does with most people, right? Go back and watch RoboCop's last main event, okay, where he came in as a 2-1 favorite and lost. Gas super heavy. Cannonier takes advantage, comes through with the win, knocks him out, man. Fluffy's not gassing out. And I think Fluffy can take RoboCop's biggest punch, and that's RoboCop's best path to victory, right? Getting a first round finish, second round finish by KO. I know everyone says he has this extreme experience in the jiu-jitsu realm and on the mat, but we never, ever see it because he's just falling in love with the striking, I guess. But I can't see RoboCop coming in here, bullying Fluffy, putting him in the back foot, and landing bombs. That's just not how this is going to go, man. I see him trying to be, like, very technical, maybe being a little more patient, knowing that his gas tank sucks. And I see Fluffy coming in, doing what he does, making this fight dirty. Volume, pressure, putting Rodrigues on the back foot. Fluffy's going to win this fight, guys. Fluffy is going to win this fight. Make this like your style fight. That's what you need to do, and that's how you're going to win this fight. Just make it dirty and grimy. Rodrigues don't like those kind of fights. No way. Now, I don't see him like getting takedowns and ragdolling Rodrigues. I don't think that's how this is going to go, which he's done to a lot of people in the past. Like, Rodrigues is huge, man. He's hard to take down, and go back and look at all of RoboCop's fights. You have not seen a lot of people taking him down and putting him on the back. So Is Fluffy going to outstrike RoboCop? I think he can, man. Like, I can't knock Fluffy for his loss to Strickland, who is the current champ, who just beat Hamzat, right? So, I think Strickland's beating RoboCop. Fluffy went in and started sparring with Strickland and training with him after his loss to him. Fluffy's going to make this a Fluffy-style fight and win. Anthony Hernandez by KO. That's my prediction for the main event. Let's go. Moving on to the next fight, we got our co-main event of the evening. Heavyweights going at it. Sergey Spivac taking on Vitor Petrino. Plus 130 for Spivac, minus 155 for Petrino. My pick for the fight. I am going with Vitor Petrino here, guys. I am fading the polar bear because dude has a little problem with power punchers. Walter Cortez, Jailton Almeida, Cyril Gain, Tom Aspinall. Those are some of his losses here in the last 5 years. Jailton Almeida loss ain't looking too hot, especially by KO. Getting beat up by Walter Cortez. Now his last win versus Ante Delija. Okay, you know what? Props to you, Sergey Spivac. I'll give it to you because I actually picked Ante Delija here. But I think Vitor Petrino's got a lot more power. I think he's a lot more technical. He can even wrestle. He can clinch. And now that he's at heavyweight, he really doesn't have those gassing issues, right? Both of the fighters kind of gas along in the fight. And he's not the one kind of huffing and puffing. I mean, we saw it. He beats Steven Asplin, who brings it to you for all 3 rounds. You know what I mean? So, can he go out there and beat Sergey Spivac? Yes. Are the takedowns going to be a problem? No. He knows that realm quite well, okay? And he can honestly get his own takedowns. He can scramble. He can sprawl. I have no issues with the takedown defense or getting taken down at all from Spivac. So, yeah, I got Petrino, and honestly, he's probably going to KO him. Round 1, round 2. Spivac, he's going to get put on the back foot. Petrino's going to walk forward. He's going to walk in there with confidence. I mean, have you seen this dude's arms since he got up to heavyweight? They are literally 2 times the size they were. Yeah, I just think Spivac is outmatched here in the striking realm. Give me Petrino. Give me him by KO. That's my official pick for the co-main. Let's go. All right, next fight. 2 quitters going at it. RDR, Reinier de Ritter, taking on Roman Dolidze. RDR coming in as a huge favorite, minus 395. Plus 310 for Roman Dolidze. My pick for the fight is going to be Reinier de Quitter. Although I don't like the pick. I don't like the fight at all. I don't like either of these guys, to be honest with you. After giving up in the Brendan Allen fight, RDR, yeah, I cannot look past that, bro. I can't. And then on the other side of here, Roman Dolidze, he is falling off quick, bro. Now, I know his losses are coming to, some pretty decent people here. CLD, Anthony Hernandez. So it's coming against pretty decent people, but he's looked like crap in these fights, bro. I'm surprised he even survived in the CLD fight. I did pick him in his last win in the Marvin Vettori fight, but Marvin Vettori's also fallen off too. He's becoming, washed territory. So RDR is got more momentum. He has really good knees. He's really good in the clinch. I think his striking's probably better somehow, some way. And he can grapple. His grappling's much better than Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze. This dude gets hit, sits there on guard on the ground, has to get called back up to the feet. He's done that multiple times in his career. I hate that crap, dude. Get up, bro. Get up. Don't be sitting there waiting. Like, that's not how fighting works, so I'm going to take the less of a quitter, I guess. I mean, I don't. Roman Dolidze has never given up in a fight. Reinier de Quitter literally gave up. Although that was in a main event. This is only 3 rounds. Yeah. RDR's the pick. I guess I'll take it by decision. I don't like this fight at all. And yeah, I want to get past it. Next fight. Okay? Next fight. Let's go. Moving on to the next fight on the main card. Markel Mederos taking on Mason Jones. Odds on the fight. plus 225 for Mederos, minus 278 for Jones. My pick for the fight. I'm picking Mason Jones. I'm picking Mason Jones here. I think he's a lot better than Markel Mederos. I think he's going to bring the fight to Markel Mederos. Compared to that last fight he just had, Mederos did with Taco. Taco's not really bringing the fight to Mason Jones will, bro. All right, he's not going to sit there and be technical. And no, he will pressure. He will move forward. Doesn't give a crap if you hit him or not. He'll get rocked. He'll get dropped, but he has good recoverability. He'll get back up. And he's a well-rounded fighter. Okay? Wrestling, takedowns, jiu-jitsu, judo, striking. His ground and pound's nasty. And he throws bombs, man. Mason Jones throws bombs. He's looked good ever since his return to the UFC. Granted, I mean, these wins aren't necessarily the best. Jeremy Stevens, easy win, right? Balaji Oki, okay, kind of getting up there. Axel Sola, pretty decent win. Went to war with, I mean, that was a banger fight, right? Up there, candidate with like fight of the year. I really don't know how anyone's going to top the Blades versus Hokit for fight of the year, to be honest with you. In my mind, that seals it, unless we see something crazy here in the next coming months. But that fight's up there too, man. Axel Sola versus Mason Jones. That was a war, guys. They were trading. They were going back and forth. And we saw Axel Sola go out there, get a win versus Ishmael Bonting Twitter. But yeah, I like Mason Jones in this spot. Mederos, I don't know if this, dancing around the outside of the octagon game plan is going to work, right? Like I said, Mason Jones brings the fight to you. You're not going to be able to run away from this guy. He'll come up to you, clinch up, get takedowns, clinch you up on the fence. I guess I respect Mederos a little bit more from his last fight with Taco Padilla, but I guess it wasn't a draw. He lost the fight, bro. He lost. Okay? So I think Jones is going to win this fight with aggression, wrestling, power, and honestly, he's just got more dog in him than Mederos does, man. So don't sleep on Mason Jones. I think submission is live. What is that number? I'm going to check that right now. Mason Jones by submission. I bet you it's pretty big, and not a lot of people are on it. Mason Jones by submission. Plus 475? That's it? I thought it would have been a little bit more bigger than that, but Jones by KO is plus 325. Mederos is pretty tough. I mean, he took some pretty decent damage from Padilla in that last fight and, came out and didn't get knocked out, so... Yeah, I mean, I got Mason Jones here, man. I like him a lot. I'll take him by decision. I think submission's live. Because Mederos, he's been taken down. He was taken down by Austin Hubbard. Jones is much better than Austin Hubbard when it comes to wrestling, getting people down, jiu-jitsu, all of it, bro. So, Mason Jones by decision, but don't be surprised if you see Mason Jones by submission in like a long shot parlay from me or something. So. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Next fight on the main card. Ladies going at it. Carly Judice taking on Gisela Chaves. Odds on the fight, they're pretty wide, guys. Minus 550 for Judice. Plus 410 for Chaves. Now, my pick for the fight is going to be Judice. And I was a little close to picking Chaves. But then I watched the Dubin fight again. And I said, no. If you're getting hit this much by Dubin, Judice is going to wreck you, girl. Okay, and I like Gisela Chaves. I thought she was okay, right? I thought she brings a lot of aggression, and she throws pretty heavy, right? She got some power in those hands, right? But Carly Judice is just a lot more technical. I think she's probably more powerful than Chaves, to be honest with you. Judice is knocking girls out left and right, bro. Again, she's more technical. Chaves is very hittable. Very, very hittable. Judice is going to take advantage of that and definitely rack up the volume. And she's good defensively too, right? So I think it's a striking match. Judice is going to outclass her. She may even get a KO with the amount of damage and how hittable Chaves is. She might even get a KO here, guys. So maybe Judice 2-3, right? Does she really get it, though? I don't know. Fuck it. I say she does. Judice by KO. Round 2, round 3. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to the next fight. I'm actually not going to spend too much time on this because it is a squash fest. Anthony Wint taking on Terrence Chatman. Odds on the fight. Wint, minus 1,050. Chatman plus 675. Pick for the fight is Anthony Wint. Obviously, I'm not going to be siding with Terrence Chatman here. Anthony Wint just coming off a Dana White Contender Series win last week. So getting another fight here 2 weeks later. I mean, I guess at heavyweight, you're not really cutting weight or doing, too much like that. And he didn't take any damage at all in that fight. Terrence Chatman's a little tubby. He's a little fat. He's not that impressive, in my opinion, bro. I want to look at these last 2 fights in their records, bro, that he had. He just beat Juan Torres. Juan Torres is 8-16. Lost to Myron Dennis, who is 21-13. Don't give this to me, bro. You beat a guy who's 2-2, 3-1, 0-0. I can't do it, man. This is have you guys seen Wint? Have you seen his KO on Contender Series? Have you seen all of his other fights? It doesn't take too long for him to get people out of here, and that's what's going to happen. Under 1.5, easy. Okay? I think Terrence Chatman's getting flatlined here, bro. So, if it does go to decision, which Anthony Wint, a couple of his fights have gone to decision, and Chatman's loss and one of his wins have also gone to decision, you could bank on that, but, I mean, Wint's last 3 fights, bro, have been a total of a minute and 40 seconds. Okay, so I want you to put that into perspective. Anthony Wint, by finish within the first 30 seconds, probably live. Under half a round, you might even be able to get plus money for that play. So yeah, I'm gonna take Anthony Wint. I'll take him by KO. That's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to the next fight, our prelim headliner, we got Jamal Emmers taking on Lorraine Douglas. Odds on the fight, Emmers, pretty big dog, plus 295. Douglas coming in at minus 375. My pick for the fight. I'm picking Lorraine Douglas, man. Do I think he should be minus 375? Probably not. I'm thinking more the range of minus 250, minus 275, but this is what the books are giving us here. So they're thinking he has a pretty solid chance of getting this win. I think that we are probably going to see his hand get raised. Okay? Douglas got some immense power in the hands. He just beat Julian Erosa, who is a crafty vet, submission artist. Didn't even come close to getting there at all. I know Jamal Emmers just beat Hyder Emil, looked pretty decent, used his wrestling, which we don't see from him ever, right? He's usually known to be a striker. But I don't think that's going to be an issue here, guys. I don't think Douglas is going to be getting taken down or ragdolled by Emmers. Hyder Emil is kind of in that stage of his career where he's fallen off. Okay? Hate to say it because he gave us some good fights. He gave us the 96-piece combo. But Douglas, man, I watched back the Nate Landwehr fight with Jamal Emmers, and after exchanging for quite a bit, I mean, Emmers got rocked, got put down on the ground, and finished. And if you're going to finish by Nate Landwehr and that power, Douglas got 2 times the power of that, bro. All right, he got sting on his shots, man. Emmers, I don't think he's going to use the wrestling. I don't think his striking is going to be superior to Douglas's here. I was like, okay, well, let me look at their stats, right? Jamal Emmers is usually the taller and longer guy. Not really, bro. 72-inch reach, 74-inch reach, so 2-inch reach advantage, and then 1-inch height advantage. So it's not like he's out here long and lanky versus Lorraine Douglas. So I'm going to take Douglas. I'm going to take him by KO. I think he finishes Emmers here, man. Jamal Emmers has 8 losses, bro. 8 losses. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Finally put 2 wins together for the first time in his UFC career, but I don't think he's stringing along 3. So give me his opponent. Give me Lorraine Douglas by KO. That is my official pick. Let's go. Next fight on this UFC Sacramento card. If you guys haven't already, please click the subscribe button for me. We're on the road to 500. I would appreciate it a lot if you could do that for me. Thank you, guys. We have, for this fight here, the Blob, Shamil Gaziev taking on Kennedy and Zechikuwu. Odds on the fight, minus 130 for the Blob, plus 110 for Kennedy. My pick for the fight. I'm going to pick the Blob, man. I'm going to give him another chance here, guys. The 2 losses that he suffered were to some pretty elite people here in the heavyweight division. Waldo Cortez Acosta, who's running through everybody. And then Prando Pericic, who is also going to be running through everybody. Okay? I think he has enough to beat Kennedy. Okay? He beat Martin Buday. Martin Buday is a pretty tough customer. He beat Dontel Mays. Okay, that's not really anything to hang your hat on. Beat Thomas Peterson. Not too bad of a win. Dude tried to fight Sergey Spivac 3 times. Like, hey, I guess it never happened. I don't know what the heck. That's weird. I'm just looking at his fight history, guys. Anyway, I think the Blob can find Kennedy and knock him out. Okay? I know Kennedy's long. I know he's looked good against some real trash cans in the heavyweight division. But I think Gaziev has more in the tank. I think he hits harder. I think Kennedy, I don't know, man. He's a little chinny, to be honest with you. Am I wrong? Is Kennedy a little bit chinny? Oh, tell me in the comments. I think he is, right? Gaziev's good in the clinch. He has nice, dirty boxing. Kennedy's going to be longer and taller, but is he really going to be using that reach advantage? Is he really going to be picking him apart for range? Probably not. Okay? He's got all that blob on him. So I think he's able to absorb Kennedy's shots if he actually does get some off. Man, give me Gaziev, dude. I like Gaziev in this spot, man. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm kind of getting convinced. And I don't even like him that much. Man, give me Gaziev by KO, bro. I think he is taking out Kennedy. We might see one of these super sloppy heavyweight fights, too, where it goes to decision. If it does get there, I still think Gaziev has the edge. So, give me Gaziev. I'm going to take him by KO. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Next fight, we got Nasarat Haqparast taking on Chris Taco Padilla. Odds on the fight. Taco's an underdog, man. Plus 100. Minus 120 for Nasarat Haqparast. My pick for the fight, man. I'm picking Taco Padilla here, bro. I'm picking Taco Padilla. He won his last fight. Those judges sucked. Okay? How are you going to tell the dude he lost 20 minutes later after raising his hand and everybody celebrating? He won the fight, bro. Okay? You go back and watch it. He won 2 rounds. I forget which 2 rounds they particularly were, but he won the fight. Okay? Go back and watch it. If you don't agree with me, tell me in the comments why. But anyway, he's taking on Nasarat Haqparast. And you could say Padilla has had issues with longer, taller guys. I mean, Nasarat's a little bit taller at 5'10". Padilla has the reach advantage with 2 inches on Nasarat here. But I think it's more of like the movement, right? Nasarat does the same kind of thing that Markel Mederos was kind of doing, right? Is he uses a lot of movement, switches stances, and kind of dances around the octagon, where Taco Padilla up here with the high guard, constantly pressuring, trying to find you and hit the shots. So does he absorb a lot of damage? Yes. A lot of people don't understand that. I mean, can hit punches to these arms hurt? Yes, but I mean, like, you're kind of like you're defending shots, right? You're defending your face. What are they trying to punch? They're trying to punch your face. They're not trying to punch your arms in those situations, right? So when these judges are seeing these fights, he's defending a lot of these shots. It's kind of that same thing with like Peter Yan, right? Where he got that high guard. Your shots are glancing off your gloves, and you're hearing sounds and things like that. So you're like, ooh, these shots are hitting, but they're not, bro. They're not. So that's a kind of a downside to Chris Padilla's game, is that he's got that high guard. You can see him kind of getting hit a lot, and judges may take that into consideration in favor of the other fighter, which they really shouldn't. But anyway, why do I think Chris Padilla is going to win this fight? He's got more damaging shots, man. Nasarat can't, I don't know. I mean, obviously he can't be taking him. We saw the KO kick from from Quillen. 9 months off, good, adequate time off. Proud of you, Nasarat, for doing that here. But he's had some close fights, bro. Like split decision with Esteban. I think he lost that. Split decision with Jared Gordon. I still think he lost that. Knocked out Malarkey. Is that anything to hang your hat on? No. Decision with Landon Quinones. Not very good. Okay? I would say Chris Padilla's got a better resume, bro. Markel Mederos, Ishmael Bonfim, Jai Herbert, Rongju. I like Chris Padilla. People count him out. He's an underdog again. I don't get it. If you're going to keep giving me Taco Padilla at underdog odds, I can't resist. Taco Padilla, I'll take him by decision. Usually he's not knocking people out in the first round. Usually Hack Brass isn't getting put out in the first round. Usually it's a 3-round affair when you're fighting Nasarat Hack Brass because he's got pretty decent fighter IQ. He's smart. He can move around pretty fluidly, but I think Chris Padilla, after making those reads, can find the shots, can, find these angles, cut off the corners, even maybe pin up Nasarat against the fence. I think Chris Padilla's got it here, guys. Chris Taco Padilla. Taking him by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to the next fight, we have another squash fest here. Marcio Barbosa taking on Ryan Kuse. Odds in the fight. I think Barbosa's minus 1,000 as well. Minus 950. He'll get to minus 1,000. Plus 625 for Kuse. Yeah, my pick for the fight is going to be Barbosa. It's going to be by KO. This Ryan Kuse guy has not fought in the UFC. All right, this is UFC debut. Lost to Cameron Smotherman by a split decision. He tries to grapple and take people down. Didn't really work in that Cameron Smotherman fight. If you're losing to Cameron Smotherman on the regional scene, bro, how am I supposed to back you against this killer and Marcio Barbosa, who just ended Dennis Buzukya's life, who got a nasty KO on Dana White Contender Series, and one of his losses was it Gabriel Santos? That's nothing to be too ashamed about. And then Luis Felipe 4 years ago, but this dude has a lot more fights too. This dude has 20 fights compared to 11 over here on the Ryan Kuse side. I don't think this grappling or takedowns are going to work versus Marcio Barbosa. He's going to end him before those takedown attempts are even going to be started, bro. So Barbosa by KO, that's my official pick. This is another squash match. They're setting him up for a highlight reel. Again, this dude hasn't even fought on Contender Series. They're just bringing him up in the UFC for squash matches, bro. For literal squash matches. You'll see Ryan Kuse go on a 3-fight losing streak in the UFC and then get booted, okay? So Barbosa by KO, that's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to the next fight, we got Gage G Money Young taking on Stan the Drill Dorsonville. Odds on the fight: minus 135 for Gage Young, plus 114 for Stan. My pick for the fight is Gage Young. I'm picking Gage Young, man. He has a lot more experience than Stan, and this Dorsonville, he looks promising. Had a few amateur fights, but he's 5-0, bro. 5-0. Only 2 fights in LFA. I mean, I know you looked pretty decent. You look promising, but Gage Young out here getting wins in the UFC. Okay, beat Thiago Moises. Beat Mahashate. Lost to Evan Elder. Made it competitive though. Didn't get knocked out. Lost to Quillen on Dana White Contender Series, but you see what Quillen Salkill's doing. Also didn't get knocked out by him either. Okay? So, Gage Young, tough guy. Has more experience than Stan here. I'm just kind of confused why the odds are so close, bro. Minus 135 for Gage Young at this spot. Over a 5-0 guy taking this fight on short notice because Gage was supposed to be fighting Cody Steele. That actually would have been an awesome fight. But, Stan stepping in here on short notice. How am I going to not back the more experienced guy? I think that his striking is probably a lot more crisp and a lot more technical than Stan's. Takedowns, wrestling, Stan does use that, but G Money's got some pretty decent takedown defense. We've seen it with Thiago Moises now. Okay, so it's improving, right? It's getting better. I know that Quillen and other people in the past have used, an Elvin Heller, right? They've used that to their advantage, but he's been working on that, man. And now he's the more experienced guy taking on the stand. And again, short notice fight. Gage Young's been preparing for a fight on this day in this place. So it's hard for me not to back Gage Young, guys. And that's who I'm picking here. Now, how does he win the fight? I don't know, man. I'd say probably by decision. Now I'm seeing why everybody's picking Stan. He's got a 6-inch reach advantage. Bro, I mean, Gage Young is still basically as tall as him. His arm's just a little bit shorter. I still think he can, use his experience, use his striking, maybe even wrestle himself, get takedowns himself, pin him up against the fence. I mean, Mahashate was a lot taller than him. He overcame that. So I think he can do it again here, too. Yeah, man, give me Gage Young. Give me G Money. I'll take him by decision. Stan, I'll give you a little bit of credit. I think again, I said you were promising. I think you're tough. You put on some pretty good performances in your few fights that I saw. So shout out to you, but I'm going to take G Money in this spot by decision. Let's go. Next fight. Bum alert. We got some trash cans going at it. No disrespect to you guys, unfortunately. Jackson, the Moose, McVey, taking on Party Time, Wes Schultz. We got some fun nicknames here. Odds on the fight. -192 for the Moose, +160 for Party Time. I'm picking the Moose. Give me Jackson McVey here. I am not a fan of Wes Schultz. He's a complete takedown or bust. Jackson McVey with that long, tall frame, I think he ends up finding a finish here over Wes Schultz. I know the Bruno Ferreira loss, the submission loss, is not a good look, right? But Wes Schultz is not Bruno Ferreira. I don't see him getting submission over Jackson McVey. I mean, that's his only really path to victory. Wes Schultz is submission or decision. Now, he won that fight over Ben Johnston, but he was getting pretty much dominated the whole fight. Like, he had some submission attempts, never came through until, obviously the last one there. But this Ben Johnston guy's an old man, all right? Now you got a young 27-year-old Jackson McVey who elbows, nasty, knees, nasty in the clinch. Again, he's got that long, tall frame. How is Wes Schultz actually going to be taking him down? You know what I mean? McVey's getting better and better and better. Coming off a win versus Rodrigues Dumas. I mean, that's nothing to hang your hat on either. But I like the Moose. All right, I've backed him in a couple of his fights here in his UFC debut and versus Dumas, obviously, because Dumas is. Did you guys see that Dumas got re-signed to the UFC? Why and how? Anyway, I don't know. I just don't see Wes Schultz getting the takedowns here. I like the long, tall frame of McVey. I think the elbows and the knees are going to come into play. I can see Wes Schultz shooting for a takedown. Jackson McVey just landing a big, huge knee. I could see them get into a clinch situation, and Jackson McVey is just landing knees and elbows in the clinch and taking him down. I like McVey in this spot. I just want to say inside the distance, because honestly, he does has some submissions too. If he can grab a hold of your neck, he'll just fucking snatch that thing up wherever he's laying and try and choke you out. So give me Jackson McVey by KO, but I think inside the distance is a good play. I think it's at like +100. But that's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to the last fight on the video. First fight of the night. More ladies going at it. Chanel the Nightmare Dyer taking on Elise Reed. Odds on the fight are crazy. I think she's the biggest favorite, ladies-wise, I guess. I mean, -750 on a ladies fight is crazy. So, -750 for Chanel Dyer, +525 for Elise Reed. My pick is Chanel Dyer. My pick. But if I'm going to bet on this fight, I'm betting Elise Reed, guys. Solely based upon her streak here in the UFC, okay? Let's date back to 2021, her UFC debut. okay? Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. What's next, guys, okay? Her last fight was a loss. Her next fight's gonna be a win, okay? She's never lost 2 in a row. She's never won 2 in a row. Now, this is something I don't recommend, okay? Just betting on history and trends. But, I mean, the writing is on the wall. But now, if you're looking at the fight itself, actually, Chanel Dyer should be the one to piece up Elise Reed and probably put her out. How does Elise Reed lose? By finishes, bro. Lost to Denise Gomez by knockout. Lost to Loopy by rear naked choke. Lost to Loma by rear naked choke. Lost to Sam Hughes. Elbows from Mount. Lost to Sierra Eubanks. Ground and pound. How does she win fights? All decisions. Okay? So she's a decision or bust. If you're betting on Elise Reed, just bet on decision because she's not going to be finishing Chanel Dyer here. So Chanel Dyer lost on Contender Series to Carol Foro, who is pretty dang good. Okay, I'll tell you that. I think she just won here recently. KO'd Ravena Oliveira easy. Elise Reed is kind of probably on the same level as Ravena Oliveira. At least Elise Reed has some wins in the UFC. At least, she can hang her hat on that. But in all reality, what should happen? Dyer should get the KO. That is going to be my official pick. But if I was going to put a bet on this fight, I'm betting on Elise Reed by decision, bro. I want those juicy odds. I'm hoping history repeats itself again. But honestly, she's outmatched on the feet. Chanel Dyer has a lot more power. Elise Reed should get pieced up and knocked out and put out pretty quick, in my opinion. So, Chanel Dyer by KO, that's my official pick. Let's go. All right, guys. 13 fights. I gave you a pick and a prediction for every single fight on this UFC Sacramento card. All right, going down to the Golden One Center. Shout out to my Sacramento Kings. Throw me a subscribe, please, if you could. Click that button down there. Goes a long way for me. I give you guys free content every single week. A free picks video, a free bets video. What else could you ask for me? Okay? Secondly, check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. That's where you can see all my bets when I place them. Bets video comes out on Thursday. But I don't put my bets in right before the video, right? I put them in as the week goes on. Once I figure out my thoughts and, officially put these in. And you'll get notified every time I update on the Patreon. So check it out. Links in the description. Absolutely free, as is everything on my channel. So let's have a good week this week for UFC Sacramento. Young Pasty, out. Let's go.